One of the more challenging things in golf to understand, and actually even how to teach, is how to properly move the hips. Well, you're in a good spot today because we're going to talk about how the hips move. Do they rotate? Do they slide? What's all going on? And even if you're getting to be a little bit of an older golfer or experienced golfer and you lose flexibility and strength, what can you do? I've got a couple drills that you can do at home or the golf course and a new product. They're going to help you get those hips moving correctly, give you more distance, and improve your contact. I'm PGA teaching professional Todd Kolb, Director of Instruction for US Golf TV. And the movement of the hips can be kind of confusing for a lot of golfers because there's a lot of different theories out there. So what I want to do with you is first I want to show you what I want the hips to do for those of you out there, my experienced golfers and all golfers. What do we want it to do? Something we can do in terms of coordination, and then a couple drills that you can do to really get that feel that you can take to the golf course. So first of all, what do we want the hips to do? Well, if you followed any of our stuff here at US Golf TV and the vertical line swing system, you know that we're a big fan of a lot of hip turn. So when I'm swinging the golf club, whether it's a 6-iron, a driver, whatever I got from down the line, well, you want to see that belt buckle rotate back here towards the camera. And one of the key components that we teach in the vertical line swing system is to release the trail leg, because as we release the trail leg, the hips can turn more, all right? And that allows me to get some hip turn. So the first thing I want you to understand is that you want to have some hip turn, especially as we get older and we lose flexibility. More hip turn is better than less. Now, the question becomes, how do the hips turn? All right, so what you want and what I want you to be looking for, and what I'm looking for as a coach, is I want those hips to rotate and turn so that the pressure goes into my trail foot, okay, but stays on the inside of my trail foot. Now that's different than just turning and drifting. I want to turn and I want that weight to stay on the inside. So now that we know what it is we want to do, let's talk about how we can do it. So the first thing that I want you to think about is coordination. So here's a little drill you can do at home. Got a couple drills to do at home and a product I want to show you here and something you can do at the golf course. So first of all, let's work on our coordination because this can be challenging. All right, this can be challenging. So what I want you to do is you're going to get set up like you're going to hit a golf ball. All right, a little bit of knee bend, a little bit of hip bend. Take your hands, kind of place them across your chest like this, so your hands are on your shoulders. And what I want you to do is see if you can keep your shoulders nice and steady, but just turn your hips. Okay? I'm just trying to, so what I'm doing here is I'm isolating my hip movement. I'm trying to keep my shoulders steady, but turn my hips. And let me go ahead and do it for you down the line here with a golf club to kind of make that point. So I'm going to take a club now and put it across my shoulders. I know this looks a little goofy, but hey, if you're at home, nobody's watching, don't worry about it. All right? Keep the club across your shoulders in my golf posture, and I'm going to try to just turn my hips. Now, the first few times I do this, it feels really awkward. Okay, but notice how I'm turning and rotating. Notice the change in knee flex. So I'm doing a couple of those just to work on coordination. This is something simple. You can do this at home, right? Sit up here. Now notice the turning. Boom, see? That's different than this, right? See how the club's moving all over? No, I want the club to stay steady. And I want to just turn the hips like that. Now hopefully that makes sense, right? Simple, easy way to work on your coordination, a little bit more challenging than it looks right there. Now, the next thing I want to share with you is a new product that was just sent to me called SpeedCore. Now, whenever I'm looking at a product, how can this help my students, those of you out there who are watching this, first of all, I got to think, does it actually make sense? So I tried it out, and it's pretty cool actually. It can help you learn how to fire the hips, but also it can help you understand how the hips rotate. So it's pretty simple. It comes with the belt. Put it around your waist, put it in the door jamb, so you can do it at home, in the office, wherever you want. And what you do is you put it on the lead hip first. That's where I started with it. And I just rotated. Now, once the band is kind of stretched out, you're going to really feel the rotation, and it's going to be almost impossible for you to slide from side to side. So one of the things that I really like, that's important, is that you understand how the hips turn and they don't drift side to side. So I put it on the lead hip, work a couple of those, switch it to the trail hip, work a couple of those, get the feel. So I like to work with this, first of all, to understand the concept of rotation versus side to side. Now once you get the hang of it and you get going, then you can start kind of adding some speed and firing the hips a little bit. So that's a simple way that you can work on the movement of the hips, not only how they move, but also the rate that they move at. And I found that a lot of my students have picked up some pretty significant club head speed by moving their hips correctly and understanding how to fire them, and the product can help you do that. Now, what can we do at the golf course? We've talked a little bit about coordination. We've talked a little bit about what could we do with the training aid, but what could I do at the golf course? This is one of my favorite things, and I got to tell you this, you know, I hope you're liking US Golf TV. I hope it's helping you play better golf, and maybe there's somebody in your life or somebody you play golf with who maybe they'll enjoy the game a little bit more if they can improve their contact or get a little bit more distance. Do them a favor, do me a favor, tell them about US Golf TV and bring them into this family so we can help them play some better golf. Now, what can we do at the golf course? Well, you know me, I love my 3-setters. So let me go ahead and grab my 6-iron here again. And we've done this one before. You might have seen it, but it's a great one to do. It's what we call little step back drills. So I get set up here in my golf setup, and I like to do this with the golf club, but I can do it at home, all right, or I can do it at the golf course, but I just swing it and I just do a little step back. See how I do that? So the first set I'm going to do is just working on that. Now when my trail foot, which for me is my right foot, steps back, let me go ahead and do it down the line here for you. When my trail foot just steps back, I naturally rotate around that lead hip, that lead foot. I can't, it's impossible for me to sway and take my foot back. So it's one of the things I love about this particular drill is that you can't really do it wrong. It almost guarantees it. Now you can just do the reverse. So now I can do the reverse, so I come this way and I rotate back that way. So I'm just doing the lead foot now. And what I'm doing is I'm training my body from an awareness standpoint of what it's like to actually just rotate. Okay? So when we play golf, when you're playing golf, you start to lose some strength, maybe lose flexibility. Doesn't mean you've got to play worse golf. We can actually still improve at this game well into our 60s, 70s, and 80s. Matter of fact, a lot of our students here at VLS Golf are doing that. How you move the hips is an important concept. So the first thing you got to do is create awareness. That's what I showed you. Create awareness of what is the hip doing. Train it, whether it be with the training that I talked about today, the step back drills that I've given you. But once you understand what you want to do with the hips and you understand how to train them, you're going to see better golf, you're going to improve your contact, you're going to improve your distance, and therefore, you're going to enjoy this game a little bit more.